Todd Golden in his third year. He has taken this team to 2 consecutive NCAA tournaments. Our officials this afternoon here in Northern California: James Breeding, Michael Irving, Steven Anderson. Combined 38 NCAA tournaments, 11 regional finals, and 3 Final Fours. And here we go. And the Red Raiders will begin at first.
And remember, the Red Raiders have JT Toppin, the Big 12 Player of the Year, on the inside.
Toppin is on top. He'll try to make the move. And it's inside into Chinaloo. And picked up by Williams, and outside of 3. Down it goes.
Well, that's a great start for Texas Tech. They had 22 offensive rebounds to beat Arkansas the other night, and they started with 1 right there.
Kerwin Walton puts it in. He is a 40% three-point shooter with a turnover at the other end.
And Stan was just talking about the fact that they got a lot of offensive rebounds, and here they just don't block out Williams, and this is a great sign for Texas Tech that Kerwin Walton makes an early 3.
He'll try another.
Even better with 2.
Kerwin Walton in their first NCAA game against North Carolina Wilmington went 8 for 19, that's right, 19 from 3, and has not made a 3 in the last 2 games.
Condon with the 3, and it will trickle in for the Gators.
Well, Texas Tech's going to use their bigs to protect the paint on Florida's pick and rolls, and they know they'll have to live with some of Florida's big men shooting 3s.
It's the Player of the Year in the Big 12. Toppin grinding his way into Chinaloo, who gets the rebound on the miss.
Well, with Toppin, if you can take away that right shoulder and make him go back to that right-handed jump hook over his left shoulder, he's not nearly as efficient.
Condon on top. Clayton, the All-America, with a 3. And chased right there. Saved by Hawkins. Outside Martin. Triple won't go. Retrieved by Walton, and here they come the other way. 28-8, the Red Raiders. In the Big 12 Conference, they were 15-5. They've beaten 3 double-digit seeds. A 3 there by Williams. Retrieved down low by Anderson. A new shot clock.
What a great play by Anderson to not only retrieve it, but to get it to one of his own guys.
Williams a 3.
Well, already 6 second chance points for Texas Tech. This is how they stayed in the game, not shooting it well the other night, and this is how they've gotten off to a great start today. Attack the glass.
Condon inside. He will spoon feed Ruben Chinaloo. He's got his first 2.
Florida moves the ball so well.
They do.
Inside guys can really pass.
They really can, but no reason to double team there. Just make him score.
They were going into Toppin. The feed came from Darian Williams, and a foul called.
Now, a lot of times you don't throw the ball back in unless you know where you're throwing it to, and he threw it right to his point guard. What a pass by Toppin.
At the free throw line, like we said, the Big 12 Conference Player of the Year, JT Toppin. He's from Dallas, went to New Mexico, played for Richard Pitino. Now he is wearing the uniform of the Red Raiders. This coaching staff was familiar with him because, like we said, he was from Dallas. They knew all about his high school play. When he went in the portal and changed, he comes to the Red Raiders.
And in comes Federico. The name's so nice. They used it twice, Kevin. And this guy is one of the best offensive rebounders in America. In the last 5 games, he's played 63 minutes and has 15 offensive rebounds.
Gators have won 9 consecutive games coming in. 9-0 in March. Number 1 seed. Out of the best conference in college basketball.
There's an SEC team in all 4 of the Elite 8 games this weekend.
Clayton making a move. Condon will set the screen. Shot clock at 3. He's inside. A lot of traffic. Chinaloo inside. Knocked away with the Federico. Oh, they're going to count it.
No, it's a shot clock violation.
All right, a shot clock violation right off the bat with nice defense by Texas Tech.
And that was Federico, who did a nice job closing on Chinaloo, who tried to sort of a horse shot, and it didn't work.
Now they're going to run a play right here for Kerwin Walton. Not only is he hot, they want to make Walter Clayton Jr. work on the defensive end of the floor because they know how good he is offensively.
On the fly inside is Toppin. Against Arkansas, had 20 points the other night with 9 rebounds and 5 blocks. Wheeling inside with a dive. What a play by Elijah Martin.
Elijah Martin has been unbelievable in the NCAA, averaging over 16 points a game, shooting 50% from the floor. So strong.
Toppin again, and throws it away. With the over and back, it'll go to the Gators. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now with 4 minutes gone here in the first half.
Kevin, I think extra possessions are going to be critical in this game. So that means you can't turn it over, and you can't give up offensive rebounds and give your opponent those extra possessions.
Thomas Houck is checked in for Martin.
Thomas Houck was fabulous the other day, as was Denzel Aberdeen, who's in the game.
Clayton with the 3. Houck has got the big-time rebound. Outside Aberdeen, 3.
Well, and Houck had 5 offensive rebounds the other day for Florida and 4 assists, and he gets 1 of each right there.
Well, Florida just pummeled Maryland on the boards the other night.
Anderson will take it in. Steering inside is Williams. Houck has the rebound.
I'll tell you what, Houck might be the most disciplined defender we have seen in this tournament. If you have a tendency to go over one shoulder or the other inside, he's making you go to your weakness.
They just called a foul. It's on Federico of Texas Tech. And a 1-point game for the right to go to the Final Four. Back in San Francisco with a look at advanced stats presented by Invesco QQQ. Offensive rebounding, a big story for the Gators.
Yeah, and as we said, it was a big story for Texas Tech the other night. But here, Houck with the rebound, kicks it out to Aberdeen for the 3. Those 2 bench guys the other night, Dan, 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists between them to beat Maryland.
Hanlogden has come in. Richard is down low. Houck on top for 3. It's the first lead for the Florida Gators.
Kevin, the big story, though, is Chance McMillan, number 0, is in the game for the Red Raiders.
Has not played in the tournament yet. Abdominal strain. Oblique inside with a spinner. Williams can't get it. Hanlogden retrieves. The All-America Clayton the other way for the Gators.
I'll tell you, as a coach, I'm just amazed by Thomas Houck. You're always trying to get guys to be disciplined to the game plan. There's nobody I've seen do it better than he does.
Look at the quick moves by Aberdeen to get the shot away, but missing in the rebound. Collected by Anderson, and here come the Red Raiders. Anderson, Williams, and here is Chance McMillan. They love this kid. He has played so well, and they have felt his absence and have had to try to plug it in when he has been out. There's a whistle blown, a foul on Florida.
Well, you're right, Kevin. Look, Chance McMillan, one of the best three-point shooters in the country, led the Big 12 at 43% in over 5 attempts a game. And the Red Raiders struggling shooting the 3 in the tournament. They came in at 25%, 23 for 92. So having him back is really welcome sight.
Played a couple years at Grand Canyon University, played in the NCAA tournament with that program. Overton is checked in now for Texas Tech. Cross court, McMillan, the number 1 3-point shooter in the conference in the Big 12. Inside, knocked away, great defense by Richard.
Richard's an outstanding defender and is very committed to staying right with Chance McMillan.
Everybody talks about Florida's offense, but their defense is awfully good too.
Hanlogden, Houck with the leap. And a foul. It is on Texas Tech.
And McMillan is not a guy who's noted for his ability to blow by you, but he actually gets by Richard, and Richard just doesn't give up on the play. He doesn't try to do anything spectacular, just gets in front of him, goes straight up and blocks the shot.
You can't defend any better than that.
Clayton is out, Martin back in, and the Gators will inbound with Aberdeen. Richard cutting, and that will go through over Overton. And a 10-0 run by Florida.
Well, that's the kind of guys you need, Will Richard. You need two-way players at this level. Guys you can count on at both ends.
Hawkins to Toppin is back in the game. This is a 3.
Well, he's only a 30% shooter from three.
The only reason that's a good shot is because it went in.
That's exactly right. We've had now 3 made threes by big guys on these two teams combined.
Cutting, driving, feeding. Aberdeen corner triple. It's grabbed inside aggressively by Richard.
And then hand-logged in with the tip. This Florida team, the 5th best offensive rebounding team in the country, and it's one of the big things you've got to do to win is you got to keep them off the glass.
And locked in is 7'1". Right now he's watching Overton, who's at a screen. Hawkins gets it out. McMillan will drive and snaking his way for 2.
Well, he worked on that shot a lot before the game, the runner, but still great defense by Richard. If you're playing him, Dan, you want to run him off the 3. You'll live with that floater.
Yeah, and that's why he was practicing the floater, because everybody runs him off the three-point line.
Houck will swerve and fire as he is fouled. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. Williams picks up his first for the Red Raiders. Houck at the line.
Here comes Richard coming in. It was the inbounder, gets the offensive rebound, and then hand-logged and just too tall. This is not a tall Texas Tech team. We talked about that the other night. You can just look on the floor, and they're giving away a lot of size up front, and Florida just keeps coming with 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot guys.
And Houck is one of those 6'10" guys, and he's going up against Darian Williams, and that's a hard matchup on the defensive end for Williams.
It sure is. I mean, you're giving away that much size, and Florida's maximized that advantage that they have all year.
Hawkins will take it, and it's into Tippin. Toppin can't get it, and picked up right now as they come the other way, and Martin will control for the Gators.
That's a shot that Toppin has to make if Texas Tech's going to stay in this game.
Chinyelu with a spinner. With the rebound controlled inside. Hawkins, whose defense was paramount late in the game in the Sweet 16. And McMillan has it here, and Williams will fire from 3.
Wow, off to a great start. That's as many as he made the entire game the other night. He was 2 for 10 from 3.
As a team, they're 5 of 6 from 3. You mentioned they're shooting 25% for the tournament. Not today.
Well, they've shot the ball well on the year, Dan. They shot 37%, but you're right. They've been struggling until today.
We have our first time. Darian Williams hit the big 3 to send it to OT. Had the shot late to win it. And Marion laces a 3 for the Red Raiders. Moments ago, Lauren caught up with the head coach of the top seed Gators of Florida, Todd Golden.
Coach, they came out hot from 3. How do you adjust?
It was some issues that we had defensively. We didn't lock and trail on the shooter when we needed to. We did a poor job on the defensive glass early on that led to some spray out 3s. Thought we were better that last mini game, but we got to run them up the line. I think they've made 4 so far.
Appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome.
Todd Golden played college basketball at St. Mary's, coached the Dons of the University of San Francisco, now back in the Bay Area in the Elite 8 and trying to get to the Final 4. Condon on top, shot clock at 4. Gators got to move. Clayton is in there. Now Williams is on Condon. Will he get it off in time? No, he does not. It is a second shot clock violation on Florida.
And what did Grant McCaslin tell us yesterday, Stan? He wanted to make him play more slowly, wanted to make him play in the mud, and this is the way you do it. Just great defense both on the ball and off the ball. I don't think Condon realized how much time was left.
Absolutely. Texas Tech wants a slower tempo. They want a half-court game.
Williams will have it. Chinyelu comes out on him. Topping his screen. Switch on D. Condon is there bumping. Williams gets it to go. Boy, is he off to some kind of start with 8 points already in this one.
Well, Williams and Toppin both outstanding. They get him isolated there on those back ends. If you want to play one-on-one, they can score.
Williams with the defense. McMillan will race the other way. Aberdeen is in the way. Finding Hawkins, they reset. He'll put up a 3. Oh! Hawkins, who played last season at the University of Minnesota, now a Red Raider. 8-0 run by Texas Tech.
Wow, they've made 6 threes, 6 of 7, and Florida, just like they started the other day, having trouble taking care of the ball. 4 turnovers already.
It's Chinyelu and Condon now doubled over Williams with a whistle and a foul. Goes on the Red Raiders.
Well, Texas Tech, again, when they get in the half court, Williams is so tough down there. I think he surprised Condon coming back to his left hand. But how about this? You drive the big guy back with that crossover dribble, step back, pow.
So in the game Thursday night against Arkansas, Texas Tech began from 3, 4 of 26 since they've gone 10 of 13.
Yeah, look, they need to make threes to win this game against Florida. They need to keep the ball, keep the game half court, Dan, and they've got to knock down shots. And they play through those bigs. And if you can't play, we see it there, 38% on the season, only 25 in the tournament. But they've got Williams and Toppin can both pass. So if they can go to work in the low post and you have to come double, they create some shots, some open threes that way.
Condon from Australia. And a sophomore at 6'11" for the Gators at the line. Williams out. And he's got a couple fouls, and so here we go with Toppin on top. And Hawkins, who just hit the 3, chiseling, feeding, knocked away. Condon blew it up. And because it was touched by him, it's a live ball. Shot clock at 9, and here come the Red Raiders. Screens, punishing moves. Walton on top. He's at a 3. Down low, broken up. Houck got in the way, and .6 on the shot clock.
Just got to make sure, more than anything, you've got no lob at the rim right here.
It's hard to lob against these guys anyway.
It is, unless you just get beat on a back screen, but they switch it.
Houck was there and fouls the shooter. Defending on the play.
And I think they're going to look to see whether that foul was before the shot clock expired or not.
You're right, Dan. They are doing just that.
Toppin actually did a really nice job getting rid of it as quickly as he could. Look at the clock up at the top of your screen. That looks to me like that foul occurred before we went to 0.
There's just no reason to reach there by Houck. He's a guy I've praised for his discipline and intelligence for over a game now, but that's a bad foul.
The previous play is under review to see if the foul occurred before the expiration of the shot clock.
All right, Kevin, and this is another issue. They're trying to make sure that the clock started on time.
Our rules analyst, Gene Steratore, is now with us. And Gene, what do you see on this one?
I was looking with Dan was just saying, Kevin, I do think that the shot clock started right on the first touch. I also think we had that foul at about between 0.2 and 0.1 seconds. I think they stay with the ruling. I think the foul occurs before the shot clock expired.
Gene, we thank you, and it's close. Boy, it is. We're splitting hairs.
Would that come in for Gene's card?
Yeah, no, it's close.
After review, the illegal contact occurred at 0.3 on the shot clock. Call on the floor stands. 2 shots, Texas Tech.
You all were right.
But here's my controversy on the play.
Okay.
I don't see a foul. So if you're going to ask me when the foul occurred, I'm going to say it didn't.
So Toppin at the line, 70% all season long, and 0 for 2 here this afternoon. Watch it again.
First of all, Toppin fouled Houck to catch the ball.
Stan, that wasn't an option. Yeah, it's a multiple choice test.
But you know what?
That wasn't an
Something
option.
else that they need to review in the NBA chat, when the NBA coaches can challenge, you go over and look at the whole play, Kevin. We know that. Toppin fouled him to get the ball. This is unfortunate for Florida.
And Gene, do you agree with Stan Van Gundy?
Yeah, it usually makes me chuckle. I usually don't like to get into the coach-referee kind of back and forth, Kevin. I think I'll leave it at that. I think it's a good call. It's a good foul.
They go up top. Condon was feeding to the flying Martin. And the other way they come with Hawkins. On the wing, Anderson, 3. It's picked up by Toppin and cleaned up by Condon.
I think the size inside is bothering Toppin a little bit.
There's no question. We saw Arkansas bother him the other day. He didn't really look comfortable until that overtime period when he was 3 for 3, and I think Florida's size is bothering him the same way, Dan.
He usually doesn't miss shots that close,
Not by
particularly with
that
his
much.
left hand.
Just past the 9-minute mark of the first half. Houck, Condon, shot clock at 4. Again underneath. Gouging his way inside Clayton, and he was fouled.
Stan, you talk about the fact that he likes to go to his left hand. He does a great job just holding his position for the rebound, but he shoots an air ball on that little left-handed jump hook, and he never does that.
No, but I think one other thing, and he is a quick release guy, but he has to, I think he feels the need to get it off quickly because of the size.
Clayton at the line, 86% free throw shooter. And a look right now at our summary for this NCAA tournament. Alabama, Duke, they're coming up. Michigan State with a terrific win and going to the Elite Eight for the 11th time with Tom Izzo leading the way.
I guarantee you that nobody in that Alabama-Duke game is going to be trying to slow the pace.
Yeah, we could have a high-scoring nightcap.
Knocked away. Chance McMillan had it. Coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Elite Eight begins tomorrow at 1 on ABC. And for more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com.
Well, they've tried to make Clayton work down here defensively, running McMillan and Walton off the screens, but Clayton's been up to the challenge so far.
Hawkins to Anderson. In the corner, McMillan. Clayton was there, deflected the ball with his defense, and the Gators on the move.
I'm impressed with Clayton's defense here early in the day.
He's really played hard.
Richard, Clayton fakes the 3, works on McMillan. Here comes Houck, sifting his way through traffic. It's collected inside by Toppin.
Boy, and Clayton just set a heck of a screen on Federico.
3, McMillan. Saved inside with a foul. The flying Anderson came through and trying to retrieve the ball. Fouls on Richard, second on the Gator. It's a 1-point game in the Elite Eight from San Francisco on TBS. Back at the Elite Eight in San Francisco. Now a look at our AT&T Connected Cam.
Well, what they're trying to do, the Red Raiders, they're trying to get the ball to Toppin when he's got some space, and he's been able to score in those situations. And offensive rebounding has been a big key. Florida and Texas Tech both have a couple, and they've scored as a result.
They indeed have. The Texas Tech Red Raiders, coached by Grant McCaslin, who moments ago visited with Lauren.
Coach, nice shooting start. How do you compete on the boards?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like this first one over here, you got to hit them because they have a size advantage. So you got to be more physical in the way we hit them. That way we can go get the ball. Our guards got to get in there and scrap.
Really appreciate it.
Wreck them.
Wreck them, Kevin.
I love it. McMillan just hit a 3. Condon will try to counter. And the rebound is retrieved by Hawkins.
Oh, McMillan from right around here. He's a Bay Area kid from Vallejo. Same place CeCe Sabathia is from, but more importantly, right across the bridge from Martinez, California, where I grew up.
And they still talk about you.
Oh, of course.
McMillan again. He was the #1 3-point shooter in the Big 12.
But not out in the open, Kevin.
A corkscrewing move inside by Toppin and loses the ball. Houck again there with his defense.
Hey, look, Houck's an outstanding player who does a lot of things that help you win basketball games.
They go inside. Condon can't get it. Swarming defense by the Red Raiders. Hawkins the other way. Inside. Federico, no. Toppin had a chance. Picked up by Condon, who digs it out for the Gators.
Federico, if he can't dunk that ball in the lob, he's gonna have a hard time scoring against those big guys.
Condon backing in, swerves in for 2.
That's a heck of a move right there. From a guy who just missed one right at the rim, came back with a lot more force on that play to get it in the basket. Nice job by Condon.
And keep in mind one other thing. Williams is on the bench for Texas Tech with 2 personal fouls. We got a long way to go in this first half if they're going to play without him.
Christian Anderson. Outside Hawkins. Single digits on the shot clock. a three. And the defense out there by Richard. Nice offensive rebound. Toppin inside.
Wow. That's Toppin's third offensive rebound already of the game. And they now have more offensive rebounds than Florida, 6-4.
Hauk is a sophomore out of Pennsylvania with a three.
And Stan, that's the play you said Texas Tech has to live with. They can't cover everything. And if the Florida big guys are going to shoot threes like that, it's going to be a long night.
Well, look, they've made 4 threes tonight, Florida. 2 of them by Hauk and 1 of them by Condon.
Toppin across the lane into Hauk. Condon fighting for the ball, but taken inside and knocked away. Toppin was relentless going for it. Shot clock at 19 for the Red Raiders.
So they put 2 on the ball on the pick and roll because they want to take away the Florida guards' threes. And then Condon, great move inside. Reverse step back into that left hand.
They just took Condon out. They bring in Micah Hamlockton. His dad played some international basketball. Couple years in the NBA. And a timeout taken by Texas Tech. They're up by 1. They've led by 6. 5:18 in the first half. In their win, down by 16 against Arkansas the other night in the Sweet 16. Texas Tech outscored Arkansas 40-22. Here's our update here. But they led in all these easy scoring points categories, and including second chance points, which they've got here this afternoon.
Kevin, we showed on that graphic, they have 7 offensive rebounds, and they've converted those 7 offensive rebounds into 11 second chance points. They've also forced 4 turnovers and converted them into 10 points.
Anderson takes it in.
Wow, that is a nice play. Decelerating and shooting it off 1 foot, off his left foot with the right hand. Excellent move. That kid's going to be a big-time offensive player.
Clayton will get it. He has not scored yet until right there.
Well, they're playing
No
out.
field goals, and he puts in his first.
But they're going to be upset with that. As much as they wanted to stay with the shooters coming off, they did not want to deny and give up backdoor passes. It was a point that Matt Brower made yesterday, the defensive guy for Texas Tech, and I thought he was very clear on it.
With a steal and the galloping Hauk. 10. And a lead for the Gators of 1.
I mean, Hauk this weekend is coming out. People know who Thomas Hauk is now if they didn't before.
Williams has it, unloads a 3. Hauk's defense was there.
Well, it's Walter Clayton Jr. who actually tips the ball away, and Hauk with great quickness finds the ball, and then there's just nothing Anderson can do. And again, when Florida doesn't turn the ball over and they turn up the defense, they're really tough.
Well, look, Hauk had 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists the other night. He's already today got 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
Gators by 1. They've led by 4 with 3 lead changes in our first half. It's part of the color pattern there for the Florida Gators. 9 straight Sweet 16 wins. Their 8th Elite 8 in the past 20 years. That ties for the most of any program over that span in college basketball. We're under 4 to play here in the first half with Florida, the top seed, up by 1. Todd Golden from the Phoenix area, where he was a terrific high school player. St. Mary's, and he said a lot of what he went through at St. Mary's, and he was a terrific guard there. He's carried over with his coaching, not only with the San Francisco Dons, where he was a head coach, but certainly now with Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he played in a great program at St. Mary's. So you see every day how winning programs operate, and you bring that into your coaching.
Williams setting a screen. Walton will kick it back on top. Hawkins has the ball. Shot clock, plenty of time at 14. Chiseling, driving into Martin. And it is saved by Frederick. Nope, he did not. He stepped out of bounds. Ball away. Gators ball.
Well, there's the Florida size again. Hawkins got to the rim. He just threw that thing up. He wanted to get it up before Hamlockton could get anywhere near him. That size is affecting Texas Tech.
Well, if he could have gotten it up on the board, Federico might have been able to get it.
Hauk wedging his way inside, but Federico is there. Martin, Hauk, Aberdeen. Shot clock at 9. Clayton will have it. Hauk is there and over Federico. Off of Hanlogton and out of bounds and off of Florida.
Well, both these teams, when the ball goes up, are going to the glass hard. I mean, every rebound being pursued.
Well, and they're both such good offensive rebounding teams that it's hard to get a defensive rebound.
It really is today. We've already seen 11 offensive rebounds. Florida, with their size, though, should be able to do a better job on the defensive boards than they're doing now.
It's a shot from outside, partially deflected. Nice Gator defense. Clayton, who had the nice move, will take it the other way. Slashing in there. Hits the deck hard. Fouled on the play.
Well, that's Walter Clayton Jr.'s second block. And to be fair, Dan, these teams trying to go after him, and he's responding.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, Ernie Johnson, Clark Kellogg, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Hall of Famers, all of them standing by in New York with their insights in our first half. And a preview of today's second game between Alabama and Duke. Hanlogton. Elijah Martin. Hauk. Clayton. Bobbled it, lost it.
Fifth Florida turnover.
And that's a hard, I mean, he passed the ball. You need to hand the ball to the guy in that situation.
Yeah.
Williams. Oh, my. Hauk. Clayton.
Well, Williams wants to get to the left shoulder, his right hand. Hauk will take away your stroke.
He snuck through and found two.
Give the credit there to Micah Hanlogton. We call that in the NBA a Gortat screen. After my man Marcin Gortat, he just seals the defender inside, and the help defender can't get to the drive.
Toppin on the move, puts it in on the fly, and give him 9. And he averages 18, and the other night had 20. Hauk got it from Hanlogton, and a foul inside on the Red Raiders with 1:58 to go. It goes on Christian Anderson, the second on him.
Well, now as the ball comes up the court, you're going to see the screen at the top. And then as he goes off the screen, watch down the lane right here. That's Hanlogton just pushes Toppin out of the way.
Oh, and Hanlogton just made the pass here. He's getting very limited minutes, Hanlogton, but making an impact in the minutes that he's getting.
And what a great story. I mean, he was redshirting, and they had a couple of guys hurt. Condon and Sam Alexis got hurt, and he said, well, last year my teammates were there for me when I needed them, and this year I wanted to be there for them when they needed me. So he took off his red shirt, and what a great addition to get in February.
And a nice addition there for Thomas Hauk, who, if we stopped right now, Dan, would have to be the MVP of this region.
Because they are +7 in this one with Hauk in. Toppin in stride, pickpocketed by Clayton, who was caught. And he draws the foul.
I'll tell you what, Walter Clayton Jr. impressing me today. When I watched his games getting ready for this, Dan, I knew he was a great offensive player. I didn't think he was a guy that was great defensively. Today, he's showing me another side. That might have been a foul, but he's right where he should have been making the play. He's got 2 blocks. He's been right with his man everywhere they have gone.
Texas Tech 3 of 15 after starting 9 of 16. Aberdeen will pick up the foul, trying to bring in Christian Anderson.
Well, and that's, Anderson's trying to get by him. And Aberdeen is 6'5", and he just does a great job moving his feet. There's a lot of contact there.
Yeah, the contact all initiated by the offense. That's a bad call.
6 fouls on the Gators, 7 on Texas Tech, and they go inside. Williams!
But look, that
10.
was a tough shot, but Chinyelu let him get to that right hand, which Hauk was not letting him do. That's a big difference.
Clayton hard to the hole.
And when they get in trouble, this is a guy they can go to, and he can get you a basket.
He's starting to take this thing over
now. You're exactly right. You can feel it. 3, Hawkins. Rebound the leaping Aberdeen.
Well, they started the game 6 for 7 from 3. They're 1 for their last 8.
Aberdeen a 2. Top in control, picked up by Hawkins. Red Raiders the other way.
Well, you don't want to let Florida run away with a couple of possessions here at the end of the half.
3 Williams with a rebound, snared in there by Martin. Bumped and fouled.
Well, we're talking about Clayton. I mean, he can pull up and shoot, or he can drive the ball to the basket, and there's some foul trouble, so they have to be careful. Now, Williams, I mean, yes, he went to his right hand, but that is a ridiculously tough shot that he makes. That's a big shot, though, for Texas Tech, because you just get the idea that Florida is starting to get some traction.
Well, they certainly are. Now they've got Martin at the line. That was a big-time rebound for Elijah Martin. He's a 74% free throw shooter.
Toppin picked up his first from North Pike High School in Summit, Mississippi, after a terrific 4-year career at Florida Atlantic, where he was part of that Final Four team. Elijah Martin at the free throw line, a high school quarterback who brings that kind of savvy and grit to this team.
Absolutely, and trying, as you said, Kevin, to get back to another Final Four with a different team.
They're now 10 for 10 from the free throw line.
And he has their biggest lead with that second free throw. And a timeout and 40 seconds to go in the first half. Texas Tech is 0 of 4 from the line. The Gators, as Dan said, 10 of 10. It's the Elite Eight on TBS. Don't miss a Minecraft movie. Only in theaters April 4th. We have about 40 seconds, 40.4 to be exact, remaining in this first half.
And Kevin, as silly as it sounds here, we're still in the first half. I think this is a big possession for Texas Tech. They've played very well in the first half. It's been a very close game. But if you miss here and allow Florida to get down and get an easy one, then you're down 7 or 8 at the half, and it looks like you've been playing from behind the whole time.
Florida's on a 12-4 run right now.
Well, Florida just showed a little soft press. But they are back in that man-to-man.
McMillan back in. He'll accelerate and drive. Rocketing inside. Knocked off his horse and a foul. Got bushwhacked as he was trying to put it up. 23.7 to play in the first half.
Yeah, and this is a tough drive. Richard does a great job staying in the play. That's going to be a tough shot. You don't need to foul him on that. You don't need to block that shot. Make him just take the difficult shot.
Richard picks up his 3rd personal foul for Florida. McMillan at the line. The numbers for this kid are just phenomenal in terms of his shooting. And Stan, you talked about it the other day. 52% from the field, 43% from 3, and just under 90% from the line.
Yeah, look, he's a guy who, if they had enough games left to play, would be threatening that vaunted 50, 40, 90 club for shooters, and that's on high volume. And he's an excellent defender, too. A true 3-and-D guy. Doesn't have great size if we're looking at the next level, but as a college player, this guy's outstanding.
And this is his 3rd NCAA tournament. Final seconds, and Clayton in control.
And they're just getting out of the way for him.
High screen Condon, switch on defense, Federico, 3, missed it all. Saved inside, picked up, Richard. Federico is down, here's a shot, Toppin, good if it goes, and just that close. It's a 3-point game at halftime. The top seed Gators, the 3 seed Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Here we go, the winner to the Final Four, Condon and Williams. It's a 3, and he was fouled as he fired. Clayton will be at the line for 3. Foul goes on Hawkins, number 1. And you can see the success they've had when having a lead at halftime. But the free throw shooting difference in this first half going now to the second has been incredible. as the Gators, with their first miss, 10 of 11. Free throw shooting for Texas Tech, 2 of 6. And here, Lauren, is Clayton at the line.
And Coach Golden has had his eye on him for a while. He was at Iona with Rick Pitino, and when Rick left, Walter had a decision to make: follow Pitino or go to his home state and play for the Gators. His mom called Coach Golden in tears, said, "Bring my boy home. If you want recruiting done right, always call Mom," Kevin.
Always call Mom. Thank you, Lauren. And here comes Texas Tech. Topping down low. Chinyelu defending. And the rebound by Condon.
And Toppin able to get to his strength there, to that right shoulder and the left-hand jump hook. Just couldn't knock it down. He's 4 for 11 on the day.
It's picked up by Toppin. Intended for Chinyelu. Hawkins will be there. The screen on Clayton. Screen roll with Toppin.
Chinyelu did a nice job that time.
It's a 3 from Toppin. Got it!
Well, that's his second 3 of the night. He's only 3 for 10 inside the arc where he normally does his damage, but he's made both of his 3s.
Anderson follows Martin, who just jets inside, missing the layup. On the floor, Toppin's got it. Hawkins on the break, cross court, on the wing. It's a 3. Walton can't hit it. And the rebound by Florida, and a Texas Tech foul. Tippin picks up number 2. Toppin will get it.
Well, you look at Toppin here on this possession and watch as he gets down into the lane, then kicks it back out. Then he's going to follow outside, set the screen, and then, he's not really known as a pick and pop guy. As you said, Stan, only 30% shooting 3s on the year, but he's 2 for 2 today.
Well, these teams have combined for 12 made 3s. 7 of them have been made by big guys in this game.
Ruben Chinyelu, Walter Clayton Jr., and single digits in the shot clock, with Condon making it go. On the side, finds Richard, sets the screen, switch on D, offensive foul.
Look, that's the kind of possessions that Texas Tech wants at both ends, Dan. We just showed the play where they got to multiple actions. They ran down the shot clock. They got the 3. Then they come down here and make Florida take the full 30 seconds into their 7th turnover of the game.
Condon picked up number 1. Anderson on top for Texas Tech. And 2 minutes gone. Anderson a 3. Chinyelu had it, and Clayton comes up with it. And here comes the All-America guard. With a bump by Toppin.
Toppin didn't want to pick up his 3rd foul out there.
That's exactly right. Chinyelu will maneuver. He's crafty. He lost the ball, and Condon gets it back. Richard 3. Rebound, Chinyelu, surrounded by red, lost inside, on the floor and out of bounds. It'll be Florida's ball. Headed to San Antonio, download the men's Final Four app presented by AT&T, available for iOS and Android.
Boy, they didn't wait long to get Thomas Houck back in the game. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. He's played 45 minutes this week in San Francisco. 25 points, 15 rebounds, 7 of them offensive, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block.
Overton comes in, as does McMillan. Houck on top. Their plus minus with him on the floor, much different. Big plus with Houck out there. Condon in stride. Williams will meet him. Shot clock at 2. And it was in the hands of Richard. He loses the ball. Texas Tech will get it.
Tell you, Richard's been going to the glass hard tonight, though, too. Already has 2 offensive rebounds. He's in there battling with the big fellas. Just loses it out of bounds. Every rebound is a battle, Dan.
Williams will take it. Houck is there defending to tie.
And that's what Williams does, and they had the entire side clear for him. No help coming.
Well, and Florida thought that one of the big challenges would be, can they play those guys one-on-one?
Missed by Martin from 3. Rugged rebound pulled down by Toppin. Other end, down he goes. Thrown there by Martin, and a whistle.
And that could be a flagrant foul.
It could.
Overton was thrown down like a rag doll.
I mean, at first look, it looks like he threw him down, and they are going to look at it.
Well, when you're coming from behind like that, that's the definition of a flagrant foul. Now, it looked like he did make a play on the ball.
Yeah, and that's not, but when we see the replay, that's not a flagrant foul.
No.
We'll see what Gene says, but that's not a flagrant foul. I'm with you, Dan. He made a play.
The previous play is under review for a potential flagrant foul.
But just because he made a play on the ball doesn't exclude a flagrant foul, but is the contact excessive and or unnecessary?
Joined now by rules analyst Gene Steratore. And Gene, what do you see?
You know, I'm with you guys on this, and I think when Martin's closing in and trying to make a play, his momentum is taking him to the baseline. I don't see that as like an excessive throw to the ground as much as his momentum is just carrying him through. And I think it's just a common foul. I really don't see anything there that rises to the level of a flagrant.
And regular speed, this is how the officials saw the play. But I think Gene's right. When you slow it down, you can see.
But the other thing is the officials are not in the position where our camera operator is underneath the basket. They're trying to catch up with the play, so they're looking at it from behind, which is why they go and look at the replay.
After review, the white defender made a play on the ball, and a common foul is the call. White ball,
foul,
red ball
Gene
underneath.
was correct.
Don't
Gene
wait a
again.
minute. I was correct. Dan was correct.
Nice job, Gene. Thank you so much.
Oh, my gosh.
This is a great pass ahead.
Watching it again.
Great hustle by Martin to get back there.
Except that somebody should have already been back there. When a shot goes up, somebody's got to be rotating back. No one should ever be behind you in transition.
Toppin inside. Rebound by Hauk.
Toppin just needs to shoot threes, Dan. He's 3 for 11 inside the arc. Even when he gets to that left hand, he can't make them.
He's worried about getting his shot blocked. He can't do that.
Richard, Condon. Toppin reaching in, poked it away on the floor. They got Williams picked up by Texas Tech. Nice defense by the Big 12 Red Raiders.
Well, that's Texas Tech basketball right there. Their mantra, toughest team wins, and you can see how they were battling on that possession.
Hawkins here, Toppin screen, cross-court Williams firing a three. It's an 8-0 run by Texas Tech. At the other end, Williams defense on Clayton.
Well, and if that one's on Williams, that'll be his third.
Hawkins picks up his second.
Yeah, they're lucky there, actually. You'd rather have him have his second than Williams have his three. But here it is, a kick out to Williams. He makes his third three of the night. Texas Tech by 3.
Well, as we saw the other night, Darian Williams is the guy they go to when they need a basket. He's made both of his baskets here in the second half. These are first half baskets, spectacular.
And then Thomas Hauk doing it all for this Florida team, hitting a three, taking it coast to coast, getting on the glass, and playing at the defensive end.
Each team has led for exactly 10 minutes and 54 seconds. The Gators have missed 8 in a row, and they have not scored from the floor in over 5 minutes.
Kevin, this is like the start of the game. Florida has come out here and turned it over 3 times to start the second half, and Arkansas has made them pay. And this is without J.T. Toppin having his best game. He's really been bothered, I think, by Florida's size.
Again, Hawkins picked up the foul for Texas Tech. Clayton is at the line.
Clayton at the line, and this will be free throws number 14 and 15 for the Gators. Only 6 attempts for Texas Tech.
The Gators have not been to the Final Four since 2014. The Red Raiders haven't been for 6 years. The winner here goes to San Antonio.
What that really means is both these teams have been there pretty darn recently.
Not bad.
You know, you've got to be pretty good. I mean, most of these teams, if they could get there once every 10 years, they'd be pretty darn happy.
And the winner here will take on the winner of the Tigers-Spartan game. Tigers at number 1, that number 1 seed. Michigan State, here they go up high.
They worked on this play yesterday.
Overton is in there, and he moves inside. Nice basket. Fouled on the play by Clayton.
Well, Overton was a guy who had a great game off the bench the other night. 12.7 rebounds. He's been quiet today. in limited minutes, but he loves to do this. Get smaller guys and back them down inside. Gets to that right shoulder.
Clayton picks up his second.
It wasn't a great lob pass, but he was able to get it anyway, Stan, by doing exactly what you said. Clayton's smaller. Clayton can't defend him one-on-one in the post.
Well, Jeff Linder, former head coach at Wyoming, who does the offense for the Red Raiders, really preaches going at mismatches.
Aberdeen is in. They sneak it in. Hamilton right there and down. Hold on. They're going to discuss.
Well, did he grab onto the rim a second time while the ball was in the cylinder? You know, he misses.
No
Wipe
basket.
it away. It will not count.
I think that's the right call.
Offensive goaltending, the call. Hanlogton, who got a sweet pass.
And he just hung on it there.
The previous play is
Got it
under
back.
review
It
for
would have
basket
gone in had he
interference.
released it earlier.
Gene, you saw it. And what do you think?
Yeah, Kev, I think at this point when you have the rim that gives like that, when you're hanging on it, and then the flange kind of pulls down, vibration comes back up, and then that ball's in that cylinder coming back down, I think they will stay with basket interference on this play. Right there, you see that rim giving the vibration that's coming back up. I think they'll stay with basket interference as a result.
Well, but they're not going to decide until the next timeout when they review it.
Yeah, so they went over to review to say that they will review it later. I like it. Really well done.
It's called the double review. Williams, Houck is on him. Hanlogton gets the ball.
Well, he got to his left shoulder against Houck the last time. Houck was upset at himself, and that time he made darn sure he didn't get to the left shoulder. Had to go back to that right shoulder, just not as efficient going that way.
Houck to Clayton. And off of Hanlogton and out of bounds.
Well, Houck is playing good defense, but watch number 15, Martin. He drops down. Williams sees him and goes with that left-handed, whatever you call that.
Well, what we call that is a miss because he's just not as good that way. And look, players have got to understand you can't take away everything from great players. You've just got to take away a little bit of their efficiency by not letting them get to their strength.
Toppin with the miss. Gators the other way. On top, Clayton. McMillan is on him. Houck. He'll finagle his way and kick it outside. It's a three. Martin couldn't get it. Rebound by Hawkins. Down the other way, McMillan. He'll tee up a three. Aberdeen the rebound. And the other side for Clayton.
I don't know that you want to get into a running up and down thing with Flores.
Knocked away as Aberdeen was driving.
It's a foul.
And it is a Texas Tech foul. And it will go on Kevin Overton. 32 world-class chefs put their fate in the spin of a wheel. Watch an all-new Tournament of Champions tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on Food Network. Overton picks up his first. Now they take out one of the guards, Hawkins. They bring in the other, Christian Anderson.
Well, that's news, taking Hawkins out.
You ain't kidding. He played 45 minutes. All 45 minutes the other night against Arkansas. The last 20 of them with 4 fouls.
Houck went right into Williams.
Well, see, here's the difference. Houck's taken away Williams' strength. Williams lets Houck get to his right hand. Those are the subtle differences that make the difference between winning and losing, and Clayton got another blocked shot. That's his third of the game.
And this is what you're talking about with Houck. I think Williams went out there to try to defend the three, and Houck just went right around, and nobody came to help. Of course, it's harder to help these days with the new block charge rule, the way they interpret it now.
Yeah, you can't just dive in front of somebody and fall down.
Houck picked up his second foul for the Gators. Williams at the line for Texas Tech. And he's a solid free throw shooter at 84%. And a first-team all Big 12 player from Sacramento. Played his freshman year at Nevada. 1,000-point scorer. And incredibly brilliant at the most important times in the Sweet 16 win over Calipari in Arkansas.
Yeah, look, I mean, to be having the struggles he had the entire night in that game, 8 for 26, and then make the three to send it to overtime and shoot it with just great confidence, and then they go to him showing their confidence in him, and he gets the game winning.
Williams out. Federico is in.
That changes the inside offense a little bit.
Houck has it. Toppin on him. Clayton, he'll launch a three. Fouled as he fired.
I mean, come on, that's the second foul on a three by Clayton tonight. Those are inexcusable. I don't care how good a shooter the guy is. The worst thing you can do defensively is foul on a three. Texas Tech by 4, and they take the timeout.
Now we're back in San Francisco. Texas Tech by 4. They've led by 6. Gators have had a 5-point lead. A third foul has just gone on Elijah Hawkins, but watch it closely. The leg, the kick.
If the offensive player kicks his leg out and the defensive player goes by and there would be no contact
After
except
review,
for the leg
the
kick,
previous
that's
offensive
supposed to be an
basket
offensive
interference
foul. Now,
called
it's
against the
possible
white
they
team
called
has been reversed.
Hawkins with his right
2
arm.
points will be added to the
Possibly
white
he
team
hit him.
score.
But now, you'll notice they've changed the score. They reversed the basket interference call because they ruled that after review, the rim had returned to its original position before the ball went through the basket.
So it's now 50-48.
Yeah, with Clayton a chance to take the lead here.
He's got 3 coming his way. And let's go and revisit that basket interference.
They're saying the rim returned to its original position, which it did.
Clayton was the 6th leading scorer in the SEC. He was 5th in Southeastern Conference assists and the top 5 3-point percentage in that wonderful conference. At the line, and a 3 for 3 at the line.
That's beating yourself, though. You've given that guy 5 points, fouling him on 2 3-pointers. It cannot be done, even though he didn't really foul him on the last one.
Toppin inside, a lot of traffic.
Well, the free throw differential is 17-5. And in a close game, that's really going to be a telling factor.
Houck will take it, toggling his way inside. Knocked away with great defense.
Federico.
He's got a couple blocks. McMillan free to fire.
Wow, they have missed that.
How fast did he get his feet set? He was surprised by that pass.
It's the way we do it in Northern California, Dan.
Houck 3. He can't answer. Hanlogton gobbles up the rebound, kicks it back to Clayton. Gators will reset. Driving on Hawkins with 3 fouls. Missing it inside. It's vacuumed in by McMillan. And Hawkins. He'll fake, he'll drive, he'll slide, he'll lose it. Nice defense by the Gators. Aberdeen the other way. Clayton. Hanlogton will put it in on the assist. And the timeout with Texas Tech's lead cut down to 2. Clayton right there, a master at feeding, and this was pinpoint perfect to Hanlogton. So here we go, no lead by either team bigger than 6 with our reset.
And Kevin, look at this. McMillan has the ball out here, and he's played very well. He's just going to go right into the lane. And right into the lane, there's 3 Florida players. And you can see when they get that, just before they get the rebound, there was still more than 20 seconds left on the shot clock. That's not the way Texas Tech wants to do this. They want to run the clock down, make Florida play on defense.
And that point was made emphatically at that timeout by Grant McCaslin.
Hawkins, Toppin, and over Condon. Saved by Texas Tech. Hawkins has it, Toppin is there. Another one missing at the doorstep. It's picked up by Martin, coming in hot and high.
That guy is some kind of athlete, and that was a heck of a play to come up with the ball and take it coast to coast.
Well, but Toppin short-armed the first one, then shot the second one too long. He's really being bothered on the inside.
He really is. He's 4 for 15 on twos tonight.
McMillan will work his way inside the lane. Condon had it. Toppin got it. Federico!
So now 4 for 16 on twos is Toppin, and Federico, he continues to just get offensive rebound after offensive rebound.
Aberdeen on the move. Foul called. It's on the Gators. Aberdeen with 3.
Just sort of dropped that shoulder into it. Todd Golden very upset.
Well, Florida really can get out and go, and the ball's tipped, and it's a favorable tip, and Martin really tracks that one down. How fast is that? And here's Federico. I mean, he's any time an offensive rebound is anywhere in his neighborhood, he's going to get it.
Absolutely. And that's a point right there for each Federico.
McMillan. As they puncture the inside, they lead by 4 again.
He's got a nice little floater game.
Sure does.
Houck on top. Rise and fire. The 3. No from Richard. Hawkins. It's McMillan. Lurching, jab stepping, and out of bounds. It's off of Texas Tech. Stream CBS Sports HQ. It's your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app and watch today.
And that was a very bad turnover. You can't throw the ball down low to Federico.
Well, and that's why you chase guys like Chance McMillan off the three-point line. Not that he can't do anything else, but you force him to make decisions, and he has struggled with his decisions.
Rugged play from Williams comes the other way. They'll tee one up with Walton. And the rebound out of bounds as they're chasing it. It will be the Red Raiders' ball.
And it's hard to chase a rebound when Federico is there going after it. This is really nicely done as Condon has the rebound, but Williams just takes it right away from him.
Toughest team wins. The Texas Tech mantra. And look, I'm not saying Florida doesn't have toughness. They do. Both these teams really getting after it. But it's not just all athleticism and skill. It's toughness, it's discipline, it's intelligence. These teams playing great right now.
Williams against Condon and sticks it.
But they let him get to that left shoulder in his right hand. I don't care what kind of size you have. He's so strong, you've got to take away that left shoulder.
It's Condon to Houck. Aberdeen to Clayton. Defense right there by Hawkins. Dancing, leaning, fouled as he went in. Number 4 on the defensive player, Elijah Hawkins.
Here it is. Condon, you just look at his stance. He just drops that left leg and opens up and lets Williams get to the left shoulder. Not good enough game plan discipline there by Condon.
So Florida at the line is 17 of 18 from the stripe, and they average 72% this season. So they are exceeding that, cashing in. Clayton at the line, and that makes it an 11-3 Texas Tech run.
Well, Clayton only has 3 field goals, no threes, but he has a chance here to score his 17th point because he's now 11 of 12 from the free throw line.
Yeah,
he's crafty.
That's one word for it.
And that's a bad foul by Hawkins. So they need him on the floor. He's playing good defense.
Hawkins
now look at Houck's stance. A lot different than what it was before, but Williams gets there anyway. Too strong. Is Florida going to have to start doubling him? And if they do, you open up three-point shooters, which is why they wanted to play him one-on-one.
Williams at 21. Clayton will take it and kick. It's over the head of Houck and thrown away. And
Grant McCaslin caught the ball over there. I didn't think he was going to give it back. This is really good defense. Watch the red shirts collapse. And, you know, if you go in there and jump up in the air, you need to shoot the ball. You don't want to be passing it. But this is just great offensive play because that's not bad defensively.
Not good enough, though. You're going to have to, as good as Williams is, you are going to have to make him turn back to that right shoulder. And they're going to go isolate him again. And they're going to see a steady diet of this until they figure out how they want to stop it.
Williams, handoff. Federico. Push back up and in. Kevin Overton has just given Texas Tech their biggest lead tonight. Chinyelu working on Federico. Tech has the ball.
Well, I'll tell you, Darian Williams is taking this game over.
He's getting every defensive
both ends
rebound.
of the floor, both defensive rebounds. He came on the help, and they're just isolating him and getting him the ball.
On the move, Federico! Timeout! It's a 12-2 Texas Tech run.
10-point lead for Texas Tech on a 12-2 run that they've done without J.T. Toppin. And this is just a great job. Federico misses, but there's Kevin Overton coming off the bench. Here's another guy. Again, Federico, that is Anderson in there playing point guard with Hawkins on the bench and a perfect lob pass.
Right now, Florida, Lauren, is navigating their largest deficit of the tournament.
And I was just listening to Coach Golden. He says, Darian is killing us. I want 2 guys on him at all times. Send a second guy on him and be prepared to get out on shooters, Kevin.
Condon. Richard cross court. Martin will slash and drive and knife and get it.
Wow, this guy's been outstanding the entire NCAA tournament.
Well, that was a heck of a maneuver to get around Federico on the inside.
Well, and here's the dilemma now, which is what Lauren talked about. The dilemma on Darian Williams. Now you're going to double. They wanted to be able to play one-on-one to take away the threes. You're going to double Darian Williams, a great decision maker. The last 8 games coming into today, 21 assists and 4 turnovers. He'll pick you apart.
Anderson. Condon now on Williams. Switch. Overton. Shot clock at 3. Overton against Clayton. Rebound Federico. That is on Texas Tech.
Oh, and Florida's shooting right here. So that's a real tough play. You get the foul and they're going the other way. They don't even have to try to score on the defense. They can just go pick up 2 points with the shot, with the clock stopped.
It's the second on Federico. Hand locked in will be at the line for the Gators. Right tonight, they're 19 of 20. Just an amazing look at 183rd in free throw shooting. But tonight, they've been absolutely pristine as they take out Federico, they take out Overton, and they take out Walton. Anderson back in. Toppin is back in the game.
Logden's only taken 8 free throws all year and made 2 of them, so has very limited sample size. And now he's going to pick
up a foul.
Well, I'm going to just use the eyeball test on that free throw, and the 2 for 8 is not an aberration.
And watch him climb the back and try to get his own miss. Went right over McMillan.
That's a great job by McMillan to step in front.
Absolutely.
And risk having his head taken off.
And Logden picks up his first. It's Hawkins with the ball. Toppin inside. Logden defends.
We saw this the other night with Toppin. He struggled all night. Then in overtime, he was great.
Gliding in for 2. Pretty play, Richard.
You cannot relax if you score against Florida because they're coming right back at you. And Hawkins had to get out of the way that time so he didn't pick up his 5th foul.
Yeah, and Grant McCasland was upset at his team. They're just running that overload pick and roll every time now and clearing out that backside for Toppin to get to the rim.
18 for Toppin. And thrown away by Florida.
Well, here it is. We've seen this play over and over from Texas Tech. The other big, Williams, is on the strong side, gives Toppin that whole side of the floor to get to his left hand. He struggled most of the day, but now he's made the last two.
They're going to pick him up full court. And they get it down court with Anderson from Hawkins, and Hawkins has it again. Got the screen, weaves, and lost it.
Knocked it off his leg. First turnover of the day for Hawkins. He has 7 assists. Today, that's his first turnover.
He's number 5 in college basketball. Hawkins is in the assist turnover. He's been brilliant in that category.
He just took it into trouble and couldn't get it out.
Martin maneuvering. McMillan defends. Bullies his way for 2. Up, no, off, rebound. Toppin.
You know, Toppin went out of the game, and it's like he changed personalities. A different guy has come back in.
A lot more energy. 11 rebounds now on the day with him.
It's Toppin for 3. Rebound chased. Houck has it. Clayton on the move. They've spaced the floor. He'll put up a 3.
Well, Dan, you said it in the open. If the game's close, this guy is a great closer, and we've seen 2 fast break buckets here recently. That's Florida basketball. Texas Tech got to do a better job getting back.
Well, you take a long 3 like that by somebody like Toppin, it's hard to get back.
Well, here they go. They're going to isolate Darian Williams again. Do you want to double? You don't. Houck took away the left shoulder. Great defense by Thomas Houck.
Clayton, step back. It's a 3. Rebound, Condon. Outside, it's a 3. Off. Rebound, Toppin. Taken away by Condon. Chases to the corner. Bodies on the floor. Cross court to Houck. Wow. Clayton. The bump into McMillan. Kicks out of bounds off of Texas Tech. Shot clock at 8.
Tell you what, though, now Florida, you know, establishing themselves on the offensive glass. Grant McCaslin not happy, Kevin. He takes a timeout. Not happy with his transition defense. Not happy with his rebounding. Not happy with Toppin's 3.
Winner here goes to the Final Four, and we gave a theme for this one: dominance and resilience.
Well, and Florida came in crushing the opposition. 9-game winning streak. But remember what we said. They had the close game against UConn. If it's close down at the end, that guy on the right there, he's the Mariano Rivera of this game.
He's the closer. And the Red Raiders, in the scoring margin in this tournament, you see the numbers. Clearly, they find something in that second half to shift into gear.
Well, they make good adjustments, and what does Grant McCaslin say all the time? Toughest team wins.
4.5 to go.
Well, and I think he wasn't upset with his team's toughness, but that wasn't a very smart 3 by JT Toppin. And you got to be tough, you got to be smart in a game like this.
You do, and he has not liked their transition defense the last 2 minutes either. Guys not getting back early enough.
8 on the shot clock. Houck has the ball. He's looking for Martin, who frees himself up. Shot clock at 2. Martin looks up, sees it, fires the 3, way off, and it sails out of bounds.
Great defense by JT Toppin right there. Switching out onto a very quick guard and getting it done.
Toppin does seem energized since he's come off the bench, Dan, as you mentioned.
Pressure now, 3/4 court pressure from Florida. Texas Tech worked on this yesterday also, being prepared to face this. They've got a great ball handler to go with Hawkins back there with Williams.
Martin will be on Hawkins. Anderson will be picked up on the play by Richard. Hawkins on the wing, shot clock at 9, they'll maneuver. On the perimeter, the defense by Martin. The try by Hawkins. Putting it up, foul called on Florida.
Look at the effort on the boards by Anderson here, running in from the 3-point line.
Houck picks up his 3rd. The winner to the Final Four, the West Region Final on TBS. Texas Tech has 3 more offensive rebounds, but look what they've done in the second chance points category tonight.
Yeah, 21-5, coming off a game where they had 22 offensive rebounds, and they've been the smaller team, significantly smaller in both games, and they're going to the line to try to get 2 more second chance points with Christian Anderson, who's probably the smallest, thinnest guy on the floor. He's got 3 offensive rebounds and a chance to make 2 free throws here.
But the other thing, Texas Tech, they wanted Florida to play in the mud. Florida is 0 for 5 with 3 turnovers in the last 10 seconds of the shot clock.
He's a 78% free throw shooter. He's a 6'1 freshman from Atlanta. He has played for the German FIBA U18 team, so he's got international experience. And he plays virtually every minute with a couple of beauties at the line, and he's got 4.
Yeah, he's only got 4 tonight. He had 22 the other night. He was their leading scorer.
Clayton stopping, starting, feeding. Condon kicks. Clayton has it. Wants the 3, can't fake out the defense of Anderson. Now he'll drive and dive and get it to go.
Well, he's their guy, and they want it. I know Texas Tech wants to blitz that pick and roll and have 2 guys on the ball, but they didn't.
I mean, he moves so well without the ball, does Clayton. You can't deny the ball to a guy who's going to move like that.
Toppin. He's got him in a blunder. Hauk was defending.
Thought he got fouled on that, too.
20 points for Toppin. Clayton got the screen, puts up a 3. Out. Hauk, the leaping rebound, parachutes in to get it. He's got 10 boards. Clayton again doubled. Williams there. Back to Hauk. Tees up a 3. Good!
This guy's been incredible. He got the offensive rebound. He gets it back for the 3, and it's a 6-point game.
Florida is out of timeouts. Texas Tech with 1. Hauk lets it fly from 3 in a 6-point game. Stan, why do you think Florida took their final timeout right there?
Yeah, it's an interesting one to take it with this much time left, but I think they're making an adjustment on the defensive end of the floor, and I think we're going to see Florida double teaming both Toppin and Williams on those post-ups and back ends because they're just destroying Florida's defense.
And Texas Tech defense is under a lot of pressure because they're trying to put so much pressure on Clayton that when Clayton shoots the ball, other guys are wide open for offensive rebound opportunities.
You see the pressure by Florida here, and Hauk's going to face the floor and make him tough to get it in.
Toppin got open. Williams will have the ball. Hauk is tagging him and picks up the foul.
Now that's not a foul they wanted, I don't think.
He's an 84% free throw shooter. Todd Golden obviously didn't want that foul.
That's 4 on Hauk. Now, Stan, if they had fouled Toppin when he caught the ball coming in, then I'd say okay, because it's a 1-and-1.
It is a 1-and-1.
It is a 1-and-1, but he didn't want the foul. And here's the thing, when you're Florida and you've been blowing everybody out, you haven't been in a lot of close games, to look up and see yourself down 6 with 2.5 minutes to go, you start to panic a little bit. Great foul by Hauk. Great foul. Excellent decision.
That's a huge miss.
Yes, it is. Toppin's got to get up. You can't let Clayton rise for 3 on that pick and roll.
Hauk!
This guy is incredible.
Just what I said. Hauk is their closer.
Golly. He's made more money this weekend than Steve Jobs. Well, we know that. But he's made more money than Jeff Bezos this weekend.
So the missed free throw by Williams, Dan, and then they go the other way.
Well, of course, you're not 100%, but this is really a nice job to get the ball quickly to Hauk, and Williams plays off of him. Wow.
Condon picked up his second. Toppin is at the line. Another miss. Hauk the rebound.
They just left 4 points at the free throw line.
Hauk. Clayton Screen. Defense Williams. Clayton to try to tie. Clayton is on McMillan.
He's done a great job defensively tonight.
Timeout, Texas Tech. Each team out of timeouts. 9-0 run by Ford of the last minute 23. And 1:23 to go.
And only 11 on the shot clock. Usually in this situation, they're going to get the ball to Darian Williams on an isolation and let him make a play, or they're looking for Chance McMillan coming off screens.
You put McMillan and Williams on the same side of the court, so if they go and help, then McMillan has an open shot.
Shot clock at 11.
Got to get it in.
Williams driving, Houck defends, a twirling move, and he got the deuce.
That's your guy right there. This guy's an outstanding player, multi-skilled.
It's not like what they're doing is the secret.
No, I pretty much knew what was coming.
Inside Clayton. The Gators have recaptured the lead. 28 points. Clayton.
Nobody makes more big shots than that guy.
I mean, he's amazing.
Here's the guy. Now, don't take away the middle here and give him that spin back.
Doubled, tripled. He's in a torture chamber and a tie-up. It'll be Texas Tech's ball.
Now, that was great defense by Condon. He knew he wanted to spin back. Look where he is. He gives him the middle, not letting him spin back, and forces him into a crowd. The Gators swarm him. 12 seconds.
Toppin doubled. Williams backpedals. 3. He cannot deliver.
They're going to have to foul here.
Yes, you got to foul. You got to foul.
Get it out of Clayton's hands.
That's a, oh, it's a, they didn't need to foul there. It was going to be a 10-second violation.
It certainly was. Now they're going to talk about it, the referees, to see if the foul was before.
Now in college, when that clock gets to 20, it's a 10-second violation.
Yeah, you guys count correctly. In the NBA, for an 8-second violation, we have to get to 15. No, I'm serious.
But that looked like it occurred at 21.
I agree. Clock awareness, a big part of executing late in the game.
See, the shot clock, according to our screen there, was at 21 when
the previous play is under review for a timing error. The call on the floor is a foul on red 5.
Bringing in now rules analyst Gene Steratore. Gene?
And Kevin, I believe that the foul occurs with 21 seconds on the shot clock, which would mean that only 9 seconds has occurred, has elapsed in the 10-second. I think the foul precedes the violation.
Well, and what they're actually looking for, Michael Irving was just over here, and he said they're looking to make sure that the clock stopped on when the whistle blew on the foul. The game clock, that is.
Absolutely.
There's no question in their minds that the foul occurred before the 10-second violation.
And Elijah Martin, a 74% free throw shooter.
Well, we have seen how important free throws have been.
I told you the other night, my daughter Allie knew that. That's one of the big factors she based picking her pool on, was free throw shooting, because she knows in close games how important it's going to be.
After review, the foul occurred with 21 on the shot clock, 22.2 on the game clock. The white team will shoot 1-1.
Gators are on a 12-2 run, 4 of 4 on threes during this run. This is the go-ahead shot by Walter Clayton.
Well, they stopped Clayton in the paint on the cut.
And he just dribbles it out.
He dribbles it out, and they were late getting to him.
Now they've put 22.2 on the game clock, and the ruling was that the foul did occur before the 10-second violation was called.
And it's a 1-and-1.
1-and-1 for Elijah Martin.
$20 for 22 at the line as opposed to 7 for 13 from Texas Tech.
And no timeouts for either team.
Martin 73% from the line. Texas Tech led by 10 with about 7:40 left in the second half. Trickling in.
Wow, this is interesting. Have really not, they're switching everything 1 through 5, but they went 3 big guys on the floor right now, which I haven't seen much from Texas. I've seen them actually go with 1 big guy more than 3 big guys.
Chinyelu is in.
All they're worried about is defending the 3. They want big guys out there.
There's still a lot of time. I'm getting the ball to Williams there and just going to the hole.
Outside, Williams for the tie. No! Rebound. It's collected by Florida. Tie up. The Gators have the arrow pointing in their direction.
Well, I'll tell you what. They gave up a wide open 3 to a pretty good 3-point shooter. But having those 3 bigs in there on the boards where they've gotten beaten up pretty badly tonight helped them get that defensive rebound.
How about Chinyelu just coming right off the bench and comes up with that play? Clayton fouled immediately by Williams.
Houck did a great job getting that and getting it right back to Clayton, who's an 86% free throw shooter and is 11 for 12 today.
You're absolutely right. A little thing like that. Houck doesn't hang on to the ball, it touches his hands, and it's gone to Clayton.
A lot of guys would hang on because Houck's a good free throw shooter. He's an 80% free throw shooter. But let's give it back to a guy who's been there all night long and been knocking him down.
Remember we said in the first half that he was struggling a little bit? Yeah, sure.
14-2 Gator run. 10 seconds to go.
And here down the stretch, who's the guy who's been making all the plays? Houck made a couple of big threes, but then Clayton took over.
Now, what are we doing over here now?
The officials are looking at the clock.
Well, we would never want play to just continue. The fans don't like that, watching an exciting game and having play continue. We want as many stoppages as possible.
There are no timeouts for either team, and watch it again.
Houck touches the ball.
They put 4/10 of a second on the clock,
10.6.
so it's 10.6. And Clayton will be at the stripe. 86% for the season. Tonight, 11 of 12. And the Gators as a team, 21 of 23 to the 7 of 13 free throw shooting for Texas Tech.
Well, Texas Tech was up 6, and they missed the front ends of 2 straight 1-and-1s. And this is a Florida team. If you're trying to close them out, you can't leave that door open.
Well, and this is the guy, Dan. You talked about him in the open. If it's close, they've got a closer. So the dominance hasn't been there today. They haven't gotten through this easily like they had the last 9. But when it's close, like it was with UConn, it was Walter Clayton. Today, Walter Clayton again.
Chinyelu back in for the Gators. Here we go. Hawkins. McMillan snaking inside for 2.
They have no timeouts.
In a 3-point game, 4.5, and the quick foul, and 3.4 in regulation.
And now that's going to be a 2-shot foul. So you'd have to miss them both, really, to open the door at all here for Texas Tech.
The Florida Gators have lost just 2 games over the past 2 months. To get to this point in the first round, they beat Norfolk State by 26, beat UConn by 2, took care of the Maryland Terrapins, by 16 in the Sweet 16. At the line is Will Richard.
And that one essentially wraps it up unless you do something dumb and beat yourself.
Chinyalu is out. Condon is in. 3.4 to go. Another free throw for Will Richard.
Just wait 3.4 seconds to celebrate, though. Don't do anything stupid here.
Just get out of the way.
Absolutely.
They bring in Walton. Texas Tech does. They take out Hawkins.
But it would require a miracle here for Texas Tech.
Well, Florida would have to give them something, like a flagrant foul on a 3 or something.
Williams intercepted. The Gators are going to the Final Four. Houck was huge.
Houck was huge, and then just what Dan said in the open, Walter Clayton Jr. was the closer.
But he made so many tremendous plays down the stretch. He made threes with hands in his face. He passed up a 2 inside, dribbled it outside, and made a 3. He had 30 points. He was fabulous.
This was a fabulous basketball game.
Yeah, really good game.
This was a great game by two teams that both, and neither one of them, Dan, could have played much harder than they did today.
It was an 18-4 run by the Florida Gators to win it. They made their last 4 threes off the fingertips of players like Clayton. McCaslin coming just this close with the Red Raiders, and Todd Golden will make his first appearance in a Final Four. And the Gator bench, which has been terrific, celebrating with the starters on the floor. Let's go over to Lauren.
Coach, first Final Four for Florida in over a decade. Why was this the group?
They've done it all year, been incredibly resilient. They say the course, never too high, too low. We're down 9 going that last media. We just had to dig in, get some stops. Tommy Walt, it made some big-time shots, got some stops down the stretch. It's what we've done all year. We found a way to win these games.
Do Tommy and Walter know the game is hard? It doesn't look like it.
I think they do, but they work at it, and they do a great job playing off their teammates, making everybody better. They stepped up down the stretch, though.
Tommy, you didn't want to talk sentimental earlier, but I spoke with your dad. He said at 5 years old, you dreamt of this moment, playing for the Gators. You're going to the Final Four with them. What's this like?
It's amazing, bro. This team's special, man. This team's super special, and I'm honored to be a part of it, man. And it's a cold man right here,
He's
bro.
a cold man. And I feel like, Walter, the tighter the game, the looser you play. How?
Ice cold. And I don't know, man. I just got all these guys around me. We don't spread apart during adversity, man. We come together. So shout out to the whole team. We all did it together.
You know, everyone talks about roster construction and how your roster is great, but you told me they have stuff the box score doesn't show. What was it tonight?
Hey, we look for 3 things when we recruit Gators. We want great attitudes, great work ethics, most importantly, guys that want to wear Florida on that chest. I don't care that these guys wear ray tie. They're badass players, man. They go into the Final Four now.
Yes, they are.
Todd Golden is the first coach under 40 years of age to reach a Final Four since 2011. The last time the Gators were a #1 seed, like this year, and they're going to the Final Four for the first time in 11 years. Now they'll await the winner of Auburn and Michigan State. That is tomorrow in Atlanta.